So I really like the energy of the dodecahedron, and when we do the lecture and the meditation, you'll notice that the energy is very high vibration, but it's also very gentle, and it has the effect of connecting you with pure spirit and with your higher self. When we start doing light work, it really is your higher self that's, trying to come through in whatever way is going to be effective. But many times your higher self is communicating with you via your intuition, and also very strongly at dream time. I've noticed the more that I've connected with, intentionally, with trying to bring in more of my higher self, I've noticed that my dreams have become a lot more vivid. And you can make an intention at night to do work with your higher self or to receive guidance coming through. And it's been really effective for me. I know that the majority of the dreams that I'm having now are direct messages, that are coming through from my higher self. So it's kind of trying to learn the language of your higher self, and then to really establish a strengthening of the relationship with this part of, actually, the what we would call to be the real you. A lot of the clearing work and the things that we've done with the other platonic solids has really cleared the way for our higher self to shine through, or to be expressed, or for us to have a more clear connection to it. Um, so it's, many people say the higher self is the your guardian angel. Some people believe that their guardian angel is their higher self, or they connect with it as being their I am presence, or being their angelic or light self. um, we'll do a connection exercise here in a bit to really experience it. And I know a lot of times when I experience my higher self, I will feel, a very uh, Christ-like, Christ-like energy coming through, and even sometimes see the image of it. Um, so it's different for everybody. So this particular author says there's an aspect of ourselves that is visible yet is very real. The dimension of ourselves that is such an integral part of each and every one of us has been called many names: the higher self, the sacred self, the inner self, all falling short of sufficiently describing what this dimension really is. Along with discovering your highest and most sacred self comes with an inner knowledge that probably best describes this mysterious, invisible aspect of ourselves. Discovering your higher self is at the heart of living a spiritual life and is the key to higher consciousness. Since the beginning of humankind, we were left in awe of the magnificence of creation: the sun, the moon, the seasons, wind, fire, a flower, and the birth of a child, and the list goes on. But as astonishing as these things may seem, the invisible world has captured our attention even more than anything else. We arrive in this life not knowing why we are here, where we came from, or where we are going. We live our daily lives and go about life in a very permanent manner. Yet deep down inside, we know that we are not here to stay. For many people, the realization of the spiritual dimension never really dawns upon their consciousness. It seems like our fascination with the physical world has created within us a bias for that which we cannot see, touch, taste, hear, and smell. The common belief is that what we can perceive in the real and invisible is unreal. In spite of this, our scientific advances are revealing new truths about this invisible world to us all the time. With recent discoveries in the fields of quantum physics, it is slowly dawning upon us that the invisible world is in fact the only thing that is real. One of the age-old spiritual truths is that we are not human beings having a spiritual experience, but that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. What we really are is not the physical aspect of ourselves, but that non-human physical part that is very essence of our nature as human beings. As you reflect back on your life, you can discover just how the you never really changed, even though your appearance, your personality, and almost every physical aspect of yourself did. With a little introspection, you'll soon discover that your body is nothing but a garage for your soul. So many people believe spirituality is something that is found outside, and that God is someone they have to go to find in a building, on a mountain retreat, or in some organization. But the higher self, that invisible part of you, is nothing but the presence of God within you. Deep within every cell, every one of us is that divine spark from where we came. This invisible dimension of ourselves is connected to a higher reality, to God. When you get in touch with it, you will discover that there is a wisdom that is far greater than what exists in the realm of the physical and material world that is so dominated by rational thinking. When you reconnect with your higher self, you soon reconnect with your source. You reconnect with God. Higher consciousness is a consciousness and an awareness of your higher self. And it is a spiritual consciousness that transcends the limitations of the physical, simply because it is not limited to the physical world of perceptions. This infinite world is available to you only when you start to live from your higher self. This is the real you. Everything about you that you can see, touch, and feel is constantly changing, but your higher self never ages. It's always been in there, looking out, quietly observing. You are the spiritual being. You simply have to quiet your mind and look deep within yourself to discover who you really are. In the New Testament, Jesus underlined this with great truth when he said, "Don't you know ye are all gods?" More recently, an Indian saint was asked whether he knew whether he was God. He replied by saying, "Yes, I am, and so are you. The only difference between me and you is that I know it and you don't." And I used to not really have uh, so much of a concept of the higher self, but as it comes in and you uh, really set an intention to bring more of your higher self into your daily life, what you find is that is the most direct source of guidance. Your higher self is your God essence. It's your spark. So when you're connecting with the guidance or the wisdom of your higher self, you're channeling your divine purpose. And sometimes we can get in our own way. We can create different types of difficulties for ourselves or challenges. And the higher self will bring in information and guidance to get us back on track. But the more that we can anchor in this energy, the more we can express and connect with our higher self, the more we're able to bring in our divine plan and whatever our divine gifts are that we're meant to share. So, obviously, if you're on this call because you're a light worker, your higher self wants to shine through and to connect with you more and more by removing those things that prevent this connection. As I mentioned, we have done that a little bit in the previous classes. But your higher self really, even beyond the connection of archangels or guides, is the most clear and direct guidance to being able to fulfill whatever it is your divine purpose is. So the dodecahedron that we're working with tonight for our sacred geometry, we're going to see really lays the foundation for this connection. So we're going to use, before we do the dodecahedron lecture, we're going to do another meditation.
Now 10 tetrahedrons.
There it is. So this will be another one, if you like it, I think it's really important, especially that you're doing sacred geometry and you're working with your light body, that you use all the tools available to you to really anchor in these energies and to stabilize them. This is another meditation that I really like uh, from Solara Anra. But we're going to do a version of it, but also use the dodecahedron to anchor in the energies of our higher self and to help raise our vibrations so you'll be able to more fully connect with it. So if you have any sacred objects or you have any crystals that are around, you might want to get them to help tune in. And if you're already feeling pretty activated, you might not need any crystals, but we're going to take a journey with our higher self so we can make this connection and then receive more of an anchoring and receive the light codes coming in that are going to help us to strengthen this connection more and more. So you should be pretty comfortable still. So once again, just having your spine straight. We're going to use the dodecahedron to anchor in the energies of our higher self. So just breathing this pure light once again into your body. Once again, just noticing any areas in your body that it might have become painful. Breathing into any darkness. Just allowing yourself to release it on the out breath. Just feeling yourself becoming lighter and brighter with each breath in. Once again, noticing any areas that you're having any discomfort. Just bringing more and more of that light into those areas of your body. Just gently opening up the chakras at the bottoms of your feet. Allowing roots to drop down deep and wide into the earth. Feeling a grounding and an anchoring. Dropping a grounding cord again from the base of your spine all the way down, feeling yourself connecting into the earth. Dropping that grounding cord all the way down into the crystal heart of our planet. As we plug in, just feeling this stabilization. Once again, opening up the chakra at the very top of your aura, about 2.5 feet above your head. Just breathing and with your intention, gently opening the chakra at the top of your aura. Just feeling light streaming down from the very center of our galaxy, high in the heavens, all the way down in through the top of your aura, flowing down through the center of your heart and down now all the way to the bottom of your aura, gently opening up the chakra at the bottom, your earth star. And then down all the way into the core, the heart of our planet. Seeing a beautiful column now of light that's connecting us all the way from the great central sun down through our hearts, all the way down into the crystal heart of our planet. This beautiful column of pure, brilliant light. Feeling yourself now with this grounding cord that's going right from your first chakra. Feel your first chakra activating. Feel it strengthen. Feel yourself really focusing and strengthening this connection that we have into Gaia's crystal heart. Anchoring you into the first dimension, the earth dimension. And also now bringing your awareness to all four sacred directions of the earth: north, south, east, west. So we're anchored beautifully into the heart of Gaia in all four directions. Feeling this first dimensional frequency strong. Now we call forth the Dodecahedron, sacred geometric shape, seeing it floating right in front of your beautiful heart. And breathing in, allow yourself to receive and draw into your heart this sacred dodecahedron element of spirit. And as it locks in place and activates, feeling this beautiful dodecahedron shape expanding out in all directions until your entire aura is encircled within this beautiful dodecahedron. Feeling the light, the energy of spirit. Feeling it lifting your vibration. And now we're going to travel up and out, raising our consciousness as we travel with this dodecahedron. Feel yourself rising up and out, your consciousness. Up this light, all the way into the center of the galaxy, anchored in the ninth dimension. Feel yourself continuing to rise, reaching up higher and higher until you're drawn all the way into the galactic heart center within our central sun. Feeling this beautiful vibration, feeling yourself vibrating faster and faster with this energy of spirit. Now call your higher self to you now, beginning to maybe see yourself as a reflection in pure light, or perhaps you've taken on another form. Just allow it to happen perfectly for you. Just calling forth with your higher self. Now asking to merge with your higher self energies. Feeling the angelic being that you are. Allow yourself to download and receive these light codes into each and every one of your cells. Now giving yourself the next few minutes to receive this connection and to receive messages or communication with your higher self directly, whether it's through images, whether it's through words, feelings, just allowing. Asking to strengthen this connection with your higher self now. What is it that your higher self wishes for you to know at this time? Asking to receive these light codes into your cells, anchoring in the full expression of this light being that you are. Feeling your light body as it activates. You might even feel yourself with wings. Allowing yourself to receive any information about how you can strengthen this connection. So with love and gratitude, just honoring all of who you are. Once again, beginning to focus on this beautiful column of light. So we begin to feel ourselves descending down, back, down this beautiful corridor of light. Just feeling all of these light codes as they anchor in, healing your vibration as you become a little bit more physical, a little more solid. All the way back down into the room where you first began. Breathing all of this light into your body. Anchoring it fully within yourself. Focusing on your feet, your root chakra, regrounding yourself if necessary. So just holding this love vibration as you gently allow yourself to come back, but holding on to this higher self connection, any information that you might have received. Keep coming back. You can kind of stretch a little bit. Just making sure you're breathing really good so you can keep coming back. Wow. So you want to drink a lot of water when you're doing this work. I've noticed not only the solar plexus sensations, but the heart sensations too. I know back a few classes with the light body activation, some people had noticed that their heart was racing, or that they could feel the energy shifting in their heart chakra. So just knowing that all of these sensations are normal, they're part of the journey. But you really want to support yourself with extra fluids, extra water. Everybody coming back. Anybody have any questions or comments?
That was really powerful. Really.
Yeah, it really works, doesn't it?
Well, when I'm teaching Tai Chi, I have this concept about when I open up to expand my energy, and in my head I say big energy. And I always think, like, as I get like 2 or 3 inches taller, it was similar to that, only more intense.
Yay.
You know, it's kind of sort of, whoa, really, it was, yeah, very, very wonderful. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, there at the beginning, I was like, oh my goodness, I had to put all my crystals down. I've been working with, the Dodecahedron and doing all these meditations, my guides are saying, you need more earth. You need more earth. You need to ground it in. Yeah, it was very strong. And the few times that I've done it, oh my goodness, the messages are so clear for me. And it's always delightful because it makes complete sense, but it's not what I would have thought to tell myself. So it's very.
What I was getting was that I'm getting too muddied down in all of the mundane stuff that really doesn't matter. That was what I was getting. That it was like, yeah, it does, but you're putting way too much focus. It really is.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like that. Yeah, mine's similar. It says, divine miracles. It's all happening. You just have to just sit back. Yeah. Not really sit back, but yeah.
Right. Don't get bogged down. It's like I'm in the mud and I'm trying to get myself out of it.
Right. Yeah, when you feel it connected in with your higher self like that, you're like, oh wow, because you get another perspective of your whole being. You get a whole new perspective on what your circumstances are.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like it too.
Let it go. It's no big deal. Kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah, and tonight, if you notice, all of you should, if you set your intention for it, you'll have really strong higher self dreams. So I highly suggest that you meditate, or not meditate. We're doing that. I highly suggest that you journal, or if you set an intention to continue this stream of connection with your higher self, that you journal that down. I like to journal keywords, and then I go online and I look up different dream symbols and kind of open up that stream that way. It's one of my favorite methods, but yeah. So anybody else have any comments or questions?
It was a deep, deep meditation. I had a hard time coming back. It was good, very good.
Yeah, you could I mean, you could feasibly, if we didn't have to, if we weren't scheduled to do a class, you could just sit up there, and it would be very, very powerful to just sit there and, even if you went to sleep right afterwards, to allow that
Yeah,
connection to continue to work.
yeah.
Earlier, I said I had the experience. I was actually doing this meditation, and then I had something else that I needed to do, and then I kept getting the message, you need to go receive more light, because it kind of left me in a state of not limbo, but not, I don't want to necessarily say out of balance, but whatever I was doing wasn't complete yet. So that's, yeah, just noticing any of that. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Okay, so now we're on the dodecahedron. Yay. So it's all these shapes are really easy to use, to kind of feel what their energy is. I mean, we're really using a lot of tools with the meditations and stuff and activation techniques, so we're getting it real strong. But the energy is very accessible and very easy to use, just through visualization. So you can use any of the platonic solids to really kind of feel, and to derive the benefit from that particular platonic solid. So you have it's the ether or spirit, or I've also seen some sources that say this is prana or chi. So that's the realm or the element. So the earth plane is, you have the four elements: earth, air, fire, water, and then you add the fifth, which is spirit. And it kind of represents the divine human. If you look at yourself, you have your four limbs, and then you have your head in spirit. So it's really kind of linking the heaven to earth concept. So it contains the 12 faces, as we mentioned, and the 12 vertices. So you see it has the 12 of the flat faces, and then each of those faces, if you counted all those lines, those are the vertices. Now, this is the dual partner of the icosahedron, as we mentioned, which is the water element. And the thing about these is they're the closest platonic solids to mimicking a sphere, which is the void energy. And so you're going to get a real gentle kind of energy with this versus, when you do the cube, you can really feel this solidity in the foundation of them. But the vibration of the ether spirit it's gentle, but very, high vibrational. So it has its own, particular feeling. And it's interesting that they note here also is that each of the five sides of this pentagon, which is the faces of the dodecahedron, could be said to represent one of the platonic solids. The number 12 is found numerous times in art, literature, music, and also metaphysical or spiritual connections. You also get, a lot of people that resonate with the 12 chakra system. So it's not only our physical chakras, but then the ones that are outside of our physical body. I personally resonate with 13 metaphysical aspects of the dodecahedron. Plato described the dodecahedron as the shape that the gods used to arrange the constellations on the whole heaven. Aristotle added the fifth element, ether, and postulated that the heavens were made of this element. Dodecahedron represents the aspects of the universe, divine creation, and its connection with the higher chakras. So dodecahedron is going to activate your sixth chakra when you start to connect with it. We did a little bit of that with the golden light, but if you notice, when we were up there with our higher selves, the energy is really activating. And if you notice where a lot of the energy is, it's in your head. It's in the sixth chakra, the seventh chakra, and higher. All of these hold the energies of meditation, awareness, awakening, higher consciousness, and spiritual ascension. The shape of the dodecahedron is linked to the higher self, divine all that is, and is a perfect tool to use in meditation and connection with source energy. The energy held within the dodecahedron will raise the holder or user's vibration up to meet its own. This allows for a state of connection with higher self or source, like we just did. Due to the similarity and overall shape to a sphere, the energy will be gentle, emanating from all sides in equal proportions. This is very helpful when using the dodecahedron for healing or meditation, as the entire space around you is filled with this energy or vibration. Suggested metaphysical uses for the dodecahedron. So if you have really, really dense energy, or sometimes even really discordant energy that's coming through, the dodecahedron is going to instantaneously raise the energy of that space or even that person. If you're a healer or you're using it for healing, and you were to visualize a dodecahedron around a person or a situation, of course the person, with their acknowledgement or consent, or their higher self's consent, what you're really doing is you're connecting them back with their source. So you're raising them out of whatever mucky muck that they're in, or whatever dense, situation. Maybe it's a really intense, physical disease even. And you're helping to raise them up into the energy of where they're able to meet with their source and reconnect with their source or their higher self. That can bring miracles and shifts in healing of anything. So even if you're raising the energy of a situation or a person into that pure realm of spirit, just the connection and the remembrance, the energetic remembrance of that pure connection to spirit can be really shifting. Holding a quartz dodecahedron as you sit in silence to attain a meditative state. If you are a reader or someone, you could use an amethyst dodecahedron to access higher self-consciousness and receive information from source. If you were maybe, say, reading from somebody else, reading for somebody else. And then you have a rose quartz dodecahedron could be used to let go of the ego when it stands in the way of that which is in the highest good for all. Understanding this vibration of all that is may assist when the physical being is pulled into old programming, conditioning by ego. This could be all sorts of things like addictions or any kind of, ego-based lower self kind of energy. The dodecahedron can be really powerful and useful for pulling out of those patterns. Even ourselves, we get, mired in the muck sometimes, like we just mentioned. And then
a lot of talking about mud.
Yeah, we had that experience of, oh wow, well this is what really is truth, is from this higher self perspective, rather than what the lower self or the ego or those patterns can be. So simply sitting with this kind of dodecahedron moves you out of that vibration and in alignment with your higher self. And again, as we just experienced, can help you to observe the situation from a completely different aspect. My higher self told me in that meditation, we're trying to establish this strong connection. They were showing me all sorts of green things to eat, juices and stuff. Yeah. I've been doing better with the coffee though. Use a dodecahedron in your healing practice can allow your client's energy vibration to effortlessly open to a state of wellness and wholeness. This vibration will allow the flow of energies to go exactly where they're needed and infuse the client with health and well-being. You can create a grid using the dodecahedron. Use a combination of rose quartz or green aventurine tumbles placed in a circle around a dodecahedron to fill your space and beyond with the energies of universal love or compassion. You could really use all sorts of different kinds of crystals. They're suggesting the rose quartz and the aventurine because it's a heart-centered, those are heart-centered crystals. But the dodecahedron's really going to radiate that source or spirit energy out into your space. Again, your intention being what is actually activating the grid. And it says you could place a rose quartz or an amethyst dodecahedron under your pillow while you sleep. Many times information from higher self source is presented during dream time. Make sure to have a journal or tape recorder handy. I can't stress it enough. It's been such a big tool for me over the past few months. Is I will set my intention right before I go to sleep. I talk to my higher self and I said, I wish to connect with you for guidance, in my dream time. And then I know, especially those dreams that I'm getting early morning towards, your 2, 3, 4-ish in the morning are going to be higher self dreams. They'll have a specific quality to them also. So you'll know that all that information is coming to you as direct guidance from your higher self. I've also kind of noticed that I've started to, I believe my higher self and I we're clarifying what the dream symbols are. So now it seems as though I'm able to more clearly know what they mean. Not necessarily having to look everything up, but it's fun. If you have a little bit of patience and you use the tools here, you will really, it's very, very powerful. You'll get direct guidance, and even my higher self shows me what is about ready to unfold in the next few days. So it's it's information that I can use in the next few days, to help me in either knowing where I need to adjust or in, how, the general flow is going to be manifesting. The dodecahedron is an expression of all life and consciousness, allowing us to go beyond the physical vibrations of the body and to reconnect with the higher vibration of our true nature. Yay. Do we have any questions or comments just about the general energy of dodecahedron? It's pretty self-explanatory. There's a brief exercise that we can do for receiving guidance. We've done this a little bit in the previous classes with the other platonic solids, where we can embody and activate the energy of a particular platonic solid. I'm going to restart our recording in a second. Where we can activate that platonic solid's energy and use it for removing obstacles. We used one of them to restore flow and balance, to unblock what might be blocking us from bringing something into manifestation. So here we're going to use the dodecahedron, but we're going to use it for the purpose of connecting with source to give us the higher perspective on a situation. So you might use the same situation or the same thing that you're bringing into manifestation that you've been using in the class, but this time we're going to use it to connect with our higher selves to receive guidance and to receive a new perspective on whatever it is that we're manifesting. Or maybe it's something that you're healing or you're bringing into being right now.